Slowing it down as a GM. A lot of times we get caught up in the waves of roleplay. When people are spurred to action, when they want to do things, it's hard not to get excited. But sometimes you should take a breath and take stock of what's going on. The yes and train of pushing forward can become very intense. So sometimes we need to slow it down as a GM. Alright, I'm gonna punch the king. He's insulted me long enough. You wanna swing at the king? Yes. Again, I'm not saying to do this.
The king sneers condescendingly at you.
But to give beats so that everyone has a chance to jump in. I mentioned beats before as a player in a previous video, which you should check out as a player or to just get more clarity on what I mean. But as a GM, you have more control over these. I think of this as like an epic moment in a movie, where time feels like it stands still as something epic is happening. Every important character is springing into action at that exact point, to the degree that we slow the camera down if we want to catch everything. And these beats generally come by splitting up a major action into segments, because usually there are moments before the impact. If the PC is gonna punch the king, they might have to stand up from a kneeling position, they might have to walk or run up to the king, and then they have to wind up and punch. Of course, we think that might all happen before anyone has a chance to react, and that makes sense for the normal NPCs maybe. But the rest of the party is not normal NPCs. They would all be legendary or heroic enough to do something because we're all the main characters at the table. So they can do something, anything, in the moments leading up. So I'm gonna slow things down a little bit so everyone has a chance to react. So we can deal with this in the moments leading up. So say I do split it up into those 3 beats. I'd wanna ask the player how the moment looks. So what does your character look like as they stand from their kneeling position? Are they rising slowly, or is it a tense and quick movement up? What kind of expression is on their face after hearing those insults? I think they stand slowly, maintaining eye contact with the king. Their face is tense, probably turning red as they clench their teeth and ball their fist. Okay, good. I'm gonna come back to you in just a moment. Now Tabitha, all eyes are on Clarence. What would you be doing right now? Do I see that he wants to punch the king? Yeah, in a way. You would see that he's balling up his fists, he's looking very angry, and he's maintaining eye contact. It wouldn't be a huge stretch to say that he wants to punch the king. Okay, can I move closer but stay along the walls? I want to move up in case I'm needed, but I want to maintain my distance from the guards. Yes, as you move closer, you do notice the faint sound of whispering coming from a slightly cracked open door 20 feet away from you. Now I'll let you think about what you want to do about that, and I'll come back to you. Vanessa, what would you like to be doing while this is going on? I'd like to move to Clarence's side, maybe under the guise of providing a letter, but I want to be next to him in case things go down. Are you going to stop me? Clarence will say under his breath as he takes the piece of parchment from you. Not unless I have to. Vanessa will say through a forced smile. Beat 1. Clarence slowly rises from his kneel. His teammates, equally as capable, are getting into position. A lot of times chaotic moves can be frustrating for a team if they're not allowed to do something. It doesn't necessarily mean to stop the big drastic move, but to be given a chance to choose something. In this case, we know what Clarence is doing. I wanted to attend to Clarence's player by asking how all that looks. It's important because in slowing things down, if I don't give Clarence's player the chance to speak, to flavor, then it feels bad. It feels like I'm stalling because I don't want Clarence to do the thing. I do want him to do it, but I want him to be doing it while everyone else has a chance to be doing things too. So I ask him for description. I ask him how he's going about it. Now the stand, the eye contact, the fist, all these components give his teammates the opportunities to see what his intent is, so it's not meta anymore. Then Tabitha moves on the outskirts forward, continuing to keep an eye out but maintaining a good distance. Her noticing the whispering might have been the result of a good perception. Whenever someone decides to do the wait and see from a distance approach, I will usually give them a chance to notice something they wouldn't otherwise. And in this case, they're noticing ominous whispering coming from outside the Great Hall. Information that could change everything. But that's all they get in that beat. Because whenever I drop a reveal of some sort, I know it'll take time to process and formulate an action, especially one that's in line with your character. I don't expect anyone to do a knee-jerk response to it, so I'll usually say something along the lines of, now I'll let you think about what you want to do, and I'll come back to you. So then they have a chance to think of something while I jump over to Vanessa. Vanessa decides to use the beautiful guise of delivering a message, so she can get in position. Now Clarence has to break his focus for just a moment to receive the message, and do a little back and forth. A little role play inspired by what the team has done, and Vanessa shows her dedication to the team, alongside her motivated movement. Okay, Clarence is starting to move forward. You're focused on the king right now. How do you advance on him? Is it a run forward, or are you walking casually? It's slow and methodical. I'm intentionally looking directly in his eyes because I want him to see this coming. I want him to feel my rage. You do see a smirk. You see that he continues to keep his eyes on you, to the point that a fly buzzes up, lands on his face, moves up to his eye, but the king doesn't react to that. That's weird. You close the distance and you notice that his eyes have taken on a purplish hue. Purple? I'll let you sit on that for a minute, as you've made your way up the steps and are standing right in front of the king, fly and all. Tabitha, you're on the side of the hall, and you heard whispers coming from the slightly cracked door 20 feet ahead of you. What would you like to do? I want to see what's going on behind that door. Can I move up and sneakily crack it open? Yeah, you make your way up. The whispering is intensifying, and when you open it up, you see someone in robes, sitting on the ground, whispering, holding a small bowl with what look like nail clippings in it. Their eyes are glazed over with a purple hue. Purple! Oh, I don't see what you see yet. Can I send a telepathic message to Vanessa to warn her? Yeah, what are you saying? Vanessa, there's someone whispering. I think they're casting something. Fingernails? Purple eyes. Got it. Can I tell what's going on? Cool. Vanessa, you heard that in your mind. Are you still walking behind Clarence up to the king? Yes. So you hear those elements, and the purple part stands out to you because you see the hue in the eyes as well. What do? Clarence, stop. There's something wrong. I want to put a hand on Clarence's shoulder. I'm going to turn back for just a moment. There is something wrong. And I'll turn to face the king again, with him. There's something else. Beat 2. Now by contrast, we already know what Clarence is setting out to do. So instead of asking him what he would like to do, like for everyone else, I'm going to be asking him how he does what he does. I want to know how he's looking as he moves. I make sure to give a couple of examples, so the player knows what I'm looking for. And he gives me a lot of great internal to external information. The rage boiling up from inside and showing outward. And because he's so focused on his target, I'm giving him information too. Details that he would notice because he's so focused on the king, who also seems oddly focused on him. The smirk plastered on his face, to even not reacting to the fly close to his eye. Already an odd element, but this is furthered by the eyes with the purple hue, which isn't enough to give him pause, but at least there's an inkling of uncertainty. As before, with every reveal, I give them time to think and reflect. So Clarence is given a chance to think about the purple hue while I jump over to Tabitha. Tabitha uncovers a secret, seeing someone sitting outside the Great Hall, whispering, holding a bowl with nail clippings, likely some kind of spell component, with glazed purple eyes. The players have connected the dots, but the characters don't know yet, and I have to appreciate the players finding a relevant way to bridge that informational gap. Tabitha seeking to send that message to Vanessa, who might be able to piece it together and fix the situation. Vanessa continues to move forward, receives the message from Tabitha, sees the purple eyes and connects the dots. She's the only one who knows all the details from both sides right now. She's trying to stop Clarence, but not forcibly, trying to convince him otherwise. But Clarence doesn't have the details yet. He's on the warpath, and it would take a lot to stop him. So, Clarence, you're in front of the king. Vanessa's hand on your shoulder, as she exclaims that there's something wrong. Something else. Do you hear her out, or is it time to punch? I give the option here, because I don't want to force action in either case. Clarence's player knows how Clarence feels and acts. The player knows the details, but Clarence doesn't. So what did he do? Above table. Are y'all cool with me doing this? You know, we're probably gonna get in trouble for it, but go for it. It seems in line with Clarence. Yeah, I'm cool with it too. Okay, Clarence is gonna look at Vanessa, his eyes pleading to her. You can see them welling up. Tears. He let my family die. This is the least he deserves. And Clarence is gonna punch the king. You connect. The king slumps down from his throne. Guards start coming from the sides of the hall. His 2 main guards immediately brandish their swords at your throats, while the others surround you two. I'm sorry, Vanessa. It's okay. I get it. Now, Clarence, you punch the king. I'll come back to you, Vanessa, for what you want to do. But we still have Tabitha in the hallway to deal with. Tabitha, you see Clarence's fist connect with the king's chin, and you hear a smack behind you on the stone floor. You see that robed figure is reeling and rubbing his chin, with the bowl now upended and the clippings scattered about. Okay, I want to grab him, drag him into the Great Hall, and yell, "Stop!" Great. Vanessa, you and Clarence are surrounded by guards. The king is unconscious on the ground. You see Tabitha emerge from the side door, pulling a robed figure before her, and call out, "Stop." What do you do? I'm gonna say, "There's something wrong with the king. My friend here was just trying to get him to snap out of it. I'm gonna gonna point at the roped figure. That person! They're the culprit! Beat 3. Now a lot has happened. Clarence connected with the punch, sending the king to the ground, prompting the guards to surround with the intent to destroy. Tabitha grabs this mysterious mage, who seemingly felt the blow, and pulls them into the Great Hall. Vanessa, with details from both sides, tries to plead to the guards. How this ends up playing out after all that, who knows? But all of this chaos, and possible opportunities for success, were available to us because we slowed it all down. We gave everyone a chance to think, to process, and to act. If it helps, this style is rooted in splitting it all up so that it's like combat, in which the 6-second turn is supposed to encapsulate what everyone is doing at once. Though we recognize that we can't have everyone do their thing at the same time in real time. Because at the end of the day, if we're all playing the game, we all want a turn. And when it comes to the risky, high-impact, chaotic moves, we can give everyone a chance to make the moves of heroes befitting of their stature, if we slow it down. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. But until next time, stay safe and take care.